So, Moscow says there's going to be a Russia-US summit, that President Putin and President Trump will meet within days. Will they? Part of the problem with reporting this story, as Moskovsky Komsomolets concedes, is that we have minimum facts. For example, what Vladimir Putin said to Donald Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff in the Kremlin on Wednesday is covered in the darkness of the unknown. And that leads to confusion. No sooner had Witkoff left the Kremlin did the White House announce it was punishing India for buying Russian oil. Later, the office of the US president announced that the Putin-Witkoff meeting had gone very well, but that new sanctions would still be imposed on Russia. Translating this from the language of politics to something we can all understand, it's the same as saying the wedding went very well, the groom was punched and lost 3 teeth, the bride had a fight with her friends, the mother-in-law climbed onto the chandelier, fell down and broke her leg, and police arrested the best man for wrecking the restaurant. If the meeting went well, then why threaten new sanctions? And how does that fit with Trump's feverish euphoria and his plans to meet Putin as soon as possible, as early as next week? If a summit does take place, the paper wonders, is this a real shift in the resolution of the Ukraine conflict, or will it again turn out to be a false start, hype and confusion? This opinion piece in Izvestia is also cautious. I don't believe it's possible to prepare a fully fledged Russia-US summit in a few days or weeks. Experience shows that it usually takes many months, even years, of intense coordinated work of diplomats, the military and other officials. The value of the summit that's being planned is probably not in securing specific earth-shattering agreements, but in giving a new impetus to bilateral relations. Historically, August in Russia has often been a month of surprises. Unfortunately, most of them sad, even tragic, like the 3-day coup of 1991, the financial crisis of 1998. I very much hope that this year's August surprise, if there is one, will be a pleasant exception. But international politics was and is the art of the possible. It would be at the very least reckless to hope for an unexpected gift of fate that could quickly change the format of the tangled and burdened relations between the two geopolitical opponents. Nezavisimaya Gazeta. Media and experts are warning that even if the summit does take place, it will be very difficult to agree on a long-term ceasefire. Hastily organised summits risk unrealistic expectations. At best, it could kick-start the peace process. Komsomolskaya Pravda is more upbeat. A political pundit tells the paper, "The summit is being prepared. This is the most dangerous time. There are many people who want to derail it. But if it takes place, it would be on a par with the moment the Berlin Wall fell. After this, I think Trump can justifiably hope for the Nobel Peace Prize." Kommersant. For the first time, Moscow and Washington have a real chance to come to an agreement on Ukraine on the level of heads of state, despite the threat of US sanctions against Russia's trading partners. And while all of this talk is going on about a possible summit, Russia's economic problems continue to build. The top story in Nezavisimaya Gazeta isn't Trump-Putin, it's in Russia, risk of recession in 2026. Even a cut to the central bank's key rate will not protect the economy from recession. And Kommersant. Russia's budget deficit rose by 1 trillion rubles in July. The deficit has risen to 2.2% of GDP.